Welcome back. We got another episode of Let 'Em Ride for you. We're going to be going over the two-game WNBA slate for Saturday, July 13th. We're going to break down and analyze each of those games, talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points and the spread, and then any plays that I put in for those games, I will list down below in the pinned comment later on. So don't forget to check back in. That way you don't miss out on any of those. And let's go over our picks from Friday. Before we move on here, we did just throw the one play in for the Dream Team total under 77.5. And this does end up hitting for us. So we are up 7.63 units now on the year. We're sitting at a 32-24 overall record. So hey, I can't complain, guys. 1-0 over the last 4 nights, a little mini 4-0 run. We'll take it. So guys, smash that like button down there. Hit subscribe. Let's dive into these picks for tonight. In our first game, we have the New York Liberty taking on the Chicago Sky. New York is laying 5.5 with the over-under sitting at 163.5. And Liberty have won 4 of their last 5. They beat the Sky in their last game, and this is yet another grudge match here in the W. They just played on Thursday. New York fell behind to Chicago early in that one. They trailed after 1. They trailed after halftime, but then they outscored Chicago by 17 in the second half to win and cover at home. This kind of bucks the trend for the Liberty. They've started off a lot of games red hot, and then they cool down in the second half, and we've seen a lot of backdoor covers go against them as they have been double-digit favorites now in 12 games. They've covered in only one of those previously. With the tired legs from a back-to-back, and them being a younger team, though, on the road, I did anticipate a possible drop-off for Chicago in this one, so we were on the right side of things, taking them with the points in the first half and staying away from that from the full game spread. Chicago, with the loss in New York, is now 3-2 in their last 5, and they are back home for this one, where they're 4-7 both straight up and to the number this year. But Najee Laney Hamilton is out again for New York. Now Brianna Stewart has been added to the injury list as well. She's questionable with a hamstring. And the line has shifted in favor of Chicago. It opened up at as many as 8.5 for the Liberty on some books, and the total has dropped as well. So keep an eye on the injury report here to see if you can find any news on Stewie before you place any wagers. But I'm going to imagine that she's going to be a game-time decision for this one. As far as the matchup for these teams, it's pick your poison with New York, as they can beat you from the inside and from the perimeter. They're shooting the highest percentage from the restricted area and the second highest from the paint outside of that restricted area. The Sky are giving up the third most points in the paint. Liberty are also making the second most threes from above the break and then the most from the left corner. Chicago's defended the perimeter well. They're giving up the 4th fewest above the break threes and the fewest from the left corner. Sky make the most shots from the restricted area on the most attempts, but at the lowest shooting percentage. And New York is holding opponents to the lowest shooting percentage from that restricted area as well. Chicago is first in points scored in the paint, but New York gives up the 3rd fewest. The Sky make the 4th most shots from the mid-range, but the least above the break threes, and they shoot them at the lowest shooting percentage of the W. The Sky on the year are shooting and making the least amount of threes overall per game. This is a tough one because I feel almost exactly the same here as I did when they played on Thursday. I feel like the Liberty will win this game, and then probably pull away late, as I've seen the Sky show a tendency to stay with teams, especially like these top-tier teams in the W. They come out strong, they come out aggressive. You can tell that they really want it, right? But I could definitely see the Sky keeping it close again in the first half, but with this line shorter than Thursday, I'll probably say off any quarter or half bets. But the Sky they have a tendency to come up flat in the 4th quarter. So yeah, I'm going to lean with the Liberty full game, laying the 6.5 here. New York is 6-2 to the number on the road in their last 8 as well. They struggled to cover a lot of those big double-digit spreads, but with this sitting at 5.5, like I said, we got to keep an eye and see if Stewie's playing, and if she is, we got to pounce on that because that number's going to jump right back up, I feel like. For the total, in games in which the Liberty are facing teams for the second time in a row, they have gone 2-1 to the over. Head-to-head, these two are also 2-1 to the over, with that one landing just 1 point below the total. So the Liberty average 86 points per game, second in the league with the highest rated offense, while the Sky play at the 5th fastest pace. But to put this in perspective, the Aces are playing at the fastest pace in the W with a rating of 98.79. The Sky at 5th are sitting at 97.15. So really not that far below, despite that 1 to 5 range there. So I'll lean over again between these two here, especially with that number dropping. I think the books are anticipating that if Stewie's out, it's going to be a slower, grinded out game. Chicago's defense will hold strong, keep this more lower scoring, but we got to see. We got to see what's going on with the injuries, as it has been the case with the WNBA. So this might be one that's better off to wait and possibly play live once we have a better idea of who's in and who's out. And for our second game, we have the Los Angeles Sparks taking on the Dallas Wings. And Dallas is 3.5-point favorites with the over-under sitting at 170.5. The Sparks come into this one, they've lost 10 of their last 11. And the funny thing is, their last 2 wins have come against the Aces. This just goes to show you how unpredictable and wild this WNBA season has gone at times. LA is just 5-17 straight up on the year, a second to last in the W. They're only 1-10 on the road this year. 6-5 to the number, but if you look more closely, 5 of those road covers were as double-digit dogs, not the shorter line that we're seeing here in this one. The Wings somehow they sit in worse shape. They're 5-18 straight up, that's last in the W, 3-6 straight up at home, and 2-7 to the number. After a 3-2 start to the year, the Wings have since gone 2-16. The Sparks have a 1-day rest advantage over Dallas, and the Wings are back home after 2 straight losses on the road. No new injuries to report here for Dallas at the time of recording. Always check back in before placing wagers with this crazy WNBA injury reporting that we've seen lately. Siegrist, Sabali, and Brown have all been out for Dallas, and they remain out. For the Sparks, Brink is done with her torn ACL. Lexi Brown has been out battling Crohn's disease. Now Lee Yuru is also out. She's another center for the Sparks. So that's more front court depth gone for Los Angeles. She's out as she's joined up with Team China for the Olympics. These two, they've met twice this year, both in LA, and they've split so far with the Wings winning by 1 in late May, and then the Sparks taking the contest in early June by 9. Look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. There just isn't a ton to like in this one. These are the 2 worst teams in the W, sitting last and second to last in the standings and net ratings as well. The Sparks' defense ranks 3rd to last, while the Wings are dead last. The Wings are 8th offensively, while the Sparks are 2nd to last. The Wings are hitting the 3rd most shots from the mid-range, but only at 34% shooting, 4th worst in the W. They're hitting the 2nd most shots from the restricted area and score the 3rd most points in the paint, while the Sparks are giving up the 4th most points in the paint. LA is giving up the 2nd most field goals from the mid-range and allowing opponents to convert at the highest shooting percentage. Dallas turns the ball over the most and gives up the most points off turnovers in the W, while LA gives up the 3rd most turnovers and points off turnovers. Dallas is just horrendous on defense, though. They're sitting dead last in opponents' points in the paint and fast break points. They're allowing the 4th highest shooting percentage from deep, the highest shooting percentage overall. They give up the 3rd most offensive rebounds, and that leads to the 3rd most second chance points. So look, I don't care that they're at home here. I don't care about the injuries for Los Angeles and the depth issues. I can't get behind this Wings team here. But with that said, I could say the same for the Sparks, so I'll lean LA with the points. But even I'm not crazy enough to bet this one. I don't think. Always check back into the pinned comments. You never know. But I don't see this one happening here for me. But for the total, both defenses are bad. Neither offense blows me away. And has convinced me they can score enough together to surpass this total. I mean, the line has gone up since opening. So I'll lean under, but like the spread and this game as a whole, I just can't see me playing this one or really anything in it. All right, with the 2-game slate, that's just about going to wrap us up here for another episode of Let 'Em Ride. But before we get out of here, let's talk about which way we are leaning for these games. Right now, I am just looking at the Liberty laying the 5.5. But like we talked about earlier in the video, we're going to hold off before we place any bets on this one until we know a little bit more about Breanna Stewart and if she is available to play in this one. If she's out, that could drastically sway which direction we're heading with this game. So yeah, we're going to wait until we know a little bit more there. So this one is just a lean. I haven't made any plays official yet, but if I do and what I do, or if I find anything else that I like before tip-off, I'm going to throw all of that down into the pinned comment. So make sure you check back in. That way you can see if you'd like to ride along with me. Maybe you check back in and you're like, bro, those picks suck. Those are some trash. Look, man, I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite. Whatever you guys decide, make sure you throw that down in the comments, man. I love to see what you guys have cooked up, and I love celebrating the wins, man, when you guys cash. And you guys have been cashing in the comments here these last few nights. It's been awesome to see. Hey, guys, I told you yesterday that we had some news coming up. So the news is we're not going to be doing any more WNBA videos in this aspect, these full breakdowns with full analysis here on the Let 'Em Ride channel. And that's because we're going to be moving to the Guy Boston Sports channel for these episodes here. I'm super excited. If you don't know about the Guy Boston Sports channel, check it out, guys. Ev and Tassos have been over there doing their thing for a minute. They got NBA, MLB, NFL content. Man, I couldn't be more excited to join on with these guys and join on to their team and knock out some WNBA content for them. So that is where you will be able to find episodes of Let 'Em Ride, the WNBA show, for Tuesday and moving forward. We'll be starting then. So tomorrow will be the last full-length show for us on the Let 'Em Ride channel. But guys, this channel's not dead. I'm not done here. We will still be putting content out here. And when the NFL season rolls around, we'll be right back doing our full breakdowns and analysis right here on the channel. And we will be making WNBA content too, like I said, in the meantime. So this channel is not done. Please, guys, hit that share button still. Let's keep spreading. Let's keep growing. Guys, the growth has been awesome so far. I've been at this for about a month consistently, and it's been fun watching this build and watching it grow. It just, all the hard work and the grind that goes into this has been so much, just so worth it. And that's because of y'all. Every one of you that has subscribed so far, I deeply appreciate it. And it's been awesome, man. I'm having a blast, and we ain't stopping now. All right, we're just gonna keep going and going and going and going. So enough of me rambling on here. I appreciate all of your guys' support. With that said, if you like the video, if you're still here, you're still listening to me go on and ramble, please hit that like button down there. It helps out tremendously, helps us keep growing this channel. And hit share if you can. I just said that, my bad. I meant to say hit subscribe if you have not already. That way you don't miss out on any of the content that we're dropping. And like I said, even though the full version of this show will be moving to Guy Boston Sports Channel, we're not done here. We're still going to be dropping content here as well. So make sure you hop over there, hit subscribe over there. You're going to get this content. You're going to get NBA, MLB. I know a few of you have mentioned MLB in the comments. Man, nobody does MLB like those guys over there. So, hey man, win-win all around. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. Until then.